Another big story this week, Major Garrett, the John Edwards trial completed with a mistrial, and it seems to me there was a lot of confusion there. The jurors came out, handed the judge their verdict. She told him to go back, think more, do more. What happened?
Yeah, they reached a verdict on one count, count 3. They said John Edwards was not guilty of knowing that there would be this $200,000 payment to Rielle Hunter to keep her, either buy her silence or provide a means by which the existence of their relationship outside of his marriage would be publicized during the course of the 2007-2008 pursuit of the presidency. That was an acquittal, pure and simple. Not guilty on that. But they could not reach a unanimous verdict on the other 5 counts, and they were at it for the better part of 9 days. And the judge said, no, really go back, try again. And they came back and said, look, we have tried and tried and tried. And what you saw in the process of deliberation is they were calling for evidence, asking for things, notes, pieces of testimony introduced. And finally the judge said, okay, instead of piecemeal, I'm going to give it all to you. Just go back, search through it, look through it all. So I don't think you could come to any conclusion that the jury was anything but diligent. They just could not reach a unanimous verdict. And the word coming out of the resolution of this trial is that it is unlikely that John Edwards will face these charges again, and that the government will accept this loss on one count and mistrial on the others. And remember, this was brought by U.S. Attorney George Holding, who is now a Republican nominee for the United States Congress. This may have some political consequences for him. I thought it was interesting that when Mr. Edwards took the microphone after the trial was completed and he came out of the courthouse, he said that only he could feel the guilt. He was responsible. He also talked about his love for that little child, about whom I worry the most. But he also said he thought God had other plans for him. What do you think about that, Juan? How did you interpret that?
Well, you know, it was a pickup on a Jesse Jackson line, actually. Jesse Jackson was the one who said, God isn't finished with me yet, after he had come through some of his turmoils back in the 80s after he had his second run for president. But it could mean, to me, I hope it means that he's looking for some way to redeem himself and to grow and to get beyond this moment and to, you know, change his life. It could also mean, though, since we're a bunch of political cynics sitting around this morning, that he thinks he can revive his political fortunes and run for office again. People are forgiving. Look at Newt Gingrich. I just don't see it, Diane. You know, I mean, I'm always looking for opportunities for these politicians, but what woman, I just think, if women are such a critical part of the electorate, let's just not escape. I think they'll determine the outcome of this presidential election. What woman is going to vote for him? You know, Bill Clinton's come back from a lot of trouble, right? And he's much loved. But, you know, I think he has a different stature than John Edwards. John Edwards was, you know, the future John F. Kennedy of the Democratic Party, a Southerner, charming, gave a great speech, that To America speech, that still, in terms of content, would resonate today. But his personal record, despite the win in the court yesterday, is so laden with baggage, I just don't see how the voters could possibly get past it.